What is up, everyone? Thank you for tuning in. This is the Matt Ramage Show. We got a great guest today. We got Senor CheeseHead. Everyone knows who Senor CheeseHead is. We're going to bring him on here in a minute. But before we get into that, big shout out to Quick Trip. The draft is coming. You see, if you're watching on YouTube, I got the draft day shirt. You can get it in my shop, thematramage.com, for all my merch. But we got some great sponsors over here. Quick Trip. If you're coming over to the draft this April, coming up in this next month, be sure, you start venturing into Wisconsin land, you're going to start seeing Quick Trips. And they got the hook up on the food. They got the hot spot. They got all the stuff. They got the beer. They got the ice. They got everything that you need that if you're going to be tailgating, hanging out, partying, doing whatever you're doing. Quick Trips got the hook up to stop in there, and they got the clean bathrooms. You know what I mean? Some gas stations you don't want to sit in the throne, but Quick Trips, they got it all cleaned up for you. You know what I mean? And also, Nick Law, great lawyer, if you get injured in an accident, and you're in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Midwest type of area, they got the hookup on that as well. They're going to take care of the lawyers, take care of those insurance companies for you, trying to be scandalous. NickLayLaw.com is the place to get hooked up on those. But let's bring in our guest today, Mr. Senor CheeseHead.
Let's go.
Oh, bro.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
It's draft. It's almost draft month. We're within the 31-day time frame, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's like 28 days from today. I was at Lambeau a couple days ago. It was 30, so I think it's about 28 days from today. The NFL draft is in Green Bay. Let's go.
That's right, baby.
So, like, you're the man to talk to about drafts because you've been to a couple.
I have been to a couple. I remember being, it's funny, the first draft that I was ever a part of was probably the same one that all my friends were a part of. It was during COVID when we got Jordan Love.
All right.
Yeah, so we got the calls in one of those virtual squares. I think I was only a standby. Yeah. I was a virtual. I was a standby. I was going to be in one of the squares. I was a standby round one. I was going to be in round two for sure. But then I guess somebody didn't show up. I was there. We had a great time. And I don't know. Here we are. We're going to another draft in Green Bay now.
I remember that very much. But like that 2020 draft is funny because everyone tells their stories like, oh, where they were and all that. I was sleeping on my couch. Like I was watching a draft on my couch, just hanging out. This before I was like live streaming all the time. And my wife said like, she's like, hey, the Packers are up. So she kind of woke me up or whatever. So I'm like laying on my couch, all like looking, and then like quarterback Jordan Love. I was like, "Who's that?" And I was like, I had no idea because I'm not a college guy. Like I'm not like a scout. I'm not trying to whatever. So, I figured, I was down with it right away though, because I was like, if I just have faith, in the people that they have in charge. I'm assuming that the cheese factory worker doesn't know more than them, but and now I'm all with it. Jordan Love, he's our guy.
Yeah, well, as soon as they strap up, man, that's where it starts. Second they're drafted, they go to work. I think it was really, not knowing who he was, I think it was a great situation for him. The golden situation. I mean, who wouldn't want to be sitting behind Rodgers coming straight out of college? It's not like you're a veteran sitting back there itching to play. You're still trying to figure it out. All these guys come in. Not very many people come in 100% ready, NFL ready, and man, he had a great opportunity to kind of kick back. He's still fresh on the hits. I mean, how many injuries has this dude had?
Yeah,
and I'm not trying to jinx the guy. I'm just saying.
Oh, right. I don't believe in jinx. People always talk to me about jinx because I'm a very like confident, like cocky kind of Packer fan. Where like during the season, I'm like the Packers gonna win. They're like you just jinxed. I'm like, dude, it's not a real thing. I talk so much trash.
That's true. You're like,
I believe in jinx. I believe in jinx like for yourself, but not for other people. Like I have a very like my jinx is like if I'm driving, I wouldn't be like, hey, I hit all the lights so far, or I haven't seen any cops. I would never say that while I'm driving because I believe in jinx
the next thing
for,
you know,
for
you're
me.
You're gonna get that red light. You're gonna get the.
You're gonna get it, but
I don't
believe
just driving along, just.
Yeah, I'm just like, don't say it out loud. No, because I feel like for other people you can't jinx other people that you don't like. Like that guy has never got pulled over. It's not just gonna happen. I feel like it's for you. Anyways, let's let everyone know we're talking to Senor CheeseHead. A lot of Packer fans know you, obviously, but maybe some listening or watching don't. So like, you're Senor CheeseHead. You got the sombrero thing. Like I feel like you started that sombrero thing. Now I see it, other fan bases kind of doing it, and maybe it was being happened before, but I just didn't realize it or whatever. But I feel like I see a lot more sombreros since you were doing your thing than before. Is that real?
That's an accurate statement. It's not because of me. I mean, I was probably the first Packer fan doing it. I never really picked up on any other fans from teams that were doing it at the time. I know some now.
Yeah.
Being a fan and going to road games, meeting different people, tailgates, all that good stuff. And then especially with social media, being able to connect with people. There's always the sombrero when another fan's wearing one, but it was always something to talk about in Green Bay. You know what I mean? You never really saw that that I remember coming around. You always saw the cheese sombrero,
Yeah.
but when I came around with the authentic one, everybody was kind of. It wasn't just the sombrero because when I showed up, I had the custom suit, the original one, and
Yeah.
so everything put together, everybody was like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" And it wasn't just a one. And dude, I'm going into like my 11th season, 10 years of wearing
Dude.
this custom outfit. I'm on my second outfit. I got a third one coming in for this new draft. Hopefully, it gets here in time. Getting custom made right now. So you're talking 10 years, probably 40 games, 4 drafts going on 5. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. How it started just from a one game thing, because that's really what I came out to do, was show up to this one game, make it as memorable as possible. That's where my original suit and sombrero came from, was just for this one game. But
Yeah.
we had such a great time in Green Bay with the fans, and like everybody was so welcoming at that time. I was like, man, we have to come back, and
So
that's where it started.
yeah, because I want to ask you about the start because like I know it because I've had you on here before, but that was a long time ago. A lot of people listening right now might not know the whole story, so I want to get the whole story. So what was that? What game was that for? And like, how did this whole like the whole thing that you put together, like with the sombrero, you got the whole outfit, you represent your culture, and how did that whole thing come together?
Yeah, so the original game I went to was Cowboys versus Packers, 2015. Um, that was a December game. This is the first game where they meet after Dez did not catch the ball.
All right.
So it was all eyes on Green Bay. I really wanted to be at that game. It didn't work out. That was a playoff game. It was like back then I was a little tougher to get to a game than it is now for me. Um, life's a little different. So
Yeah,
I've been
yeah,
able.
yeah.
I've managed to go to games now, but back then it was pretty tough. So I was like, I remember. I mean, nobody will ever forget that game, right? And can you imagine, like, dude, I could have been there, kind of a thing. So I was like,
Yeah.
that's it. The next time the Cowboys make it to Lambeau Field, I'm going. At that time, I was already wearing a sombrero. I was already kind of hanging out locally, doing stuff and doing stuff on Facebook. But yeah, dude, that was the game where I was like, no, dude, I got to get this suit ready. I'm going this December. I've got like a whole year, this whole season to get ready by December. That was going to be my birthday weekend. So no, it worked out great, dude.
Yeah, that was that Dej dropped it game was cool for me because like I was at my son's basketball tournament that weekend, which I was like, why are they having a basketball tournament when the Packers are in the playoffs? But obviously they're scheduled way far in advance or whatever.
Right.
But I was watching that game on my phone. And I paid so much money because back then it was not like now we're like unlimited or unlimited internet and all that. Like I didn't really have a lot of internet on my phone, so I'd like go in and subscribe to like a bunch of internet to watch this game. Everyone's over my shoulder, all the parents. They're watching like when Dez dropped it. The whole thing was going on at the end of the game. Everyone's cheering like throughout the game, and then the kids are on timeout. Like they're like not even playing. Everyone's like, "Why are we cheering?" So like everyone wanted to know like what's going on with the game. I remember walking out to the parking lot like as they were challenging it, and everyone's yelling to me, "Hey, what's going on? Did they win the challenge? It was like such like a chaotic game. What a game I will never forget. I don't know if my son won that basketball game or lost it, but I know the Packers won. That's all I know. I know Des dropped it.
That was crazy, dude. It's still like I think it finally there's so much has happened since then with them losing locally that I think they already forgot. Like they just maybe he did drop it. You know what I mean? Like because for a long time, I'm talking years after, dude. I mean, just as well as anybody, their span versus us in this short amount of time, and getting to getting to the playoffs and all that stuff. So it's crazy, dude. That it's been so much of that they've just already forgotten that about probably Des Bryant in himself.
Yeah, I mean
They
he
got a lot.
brings
They
it
got a
up.
lot. They got a lot going on over there, bro.
Yeah, they have a lot more. Because so for people who don't know, you're obviously from Texas.
Yep.
My sister lives in Dallas. She kind of talks to me about the Cowboys. Like she kind of talks about like Walmart, like the stores that sell merchandise. She's like, if they're winning, it's in the front of the store. She's like they're 2-8. You can, it's not anymore. Like you can't really find it. I mean, you can find it, but it's like not in the front of the store, especially like the big change or whatever. So, what's your like living in Texas? What's your opinion on Cowboys fans? Like, are they good fans? Are they? I wouldn't say bandwagons, but like they're passionate, obviously. But like, what's your assessment on Cowboys fans living inside the beast?
They've settled down the last couple of years. I don't know what it is. They've I think they've really been humbled by something. I can't put my eye on it, but they used to be a lot vicious. I've been to plenty of games over there. I've had stuff thrown at me, like full on unopened water bottles in my direction. I never
That's
made
good.
contact, but like you know what I mean? Like I've felt that pressure as a fan being in hostile situations like that. This last playoff game that we went to, when the guys won in January, it wasn't like that. It was totally different. The fans were a lot better. Um, I don't know. I can't explain it, but I will say that I don't know. I couldn't put a word on it. If they're like just so desensitized to what's going on.
Yeah, they kind of like know like they're. I mean, it's always next year like with the Cowboys, and I'm not over here like they're just trash Cowboys fans because I do think Cowboys. I've always said this about Cowboys fans. I do believe that they're passionate, but
Yes, yeah. No, I think everybody's got a passionate fan base.
oh yeah.
I think they used to be a lot rougher back in the days. Like I haven't had any bad incidents with Cowboy fans for years. You know what I mean? Not even in my DMs, like trash talking. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's me not putting myself in that situations. Like I still have fun with them. Never anything personal. I never really go and like uh, make posts about like, haha, I'll make fun of the team. You know what I mean? Just like
Yeah.
something that says Cowboys suck, and I'll kind of leave it at that. But it's been a while since I've had a bad incident with a Cowboy fan. I'll be honest. I do know a bunch of them just because where I'm at.
Yeah.
And then I know a bunch of their fans that dress up. They're super fans that are in the draft. You see them on TV. They're all at the games, all dressed up and stuff. So
They got cowboy
um,
hats on. They got
yeah, they got kind of everybody's got their own personality, and it's really cool when you get to hang out with dudes that are just as passionate and put that time and effort to take it to the next level.
yeah. So you've been around like you talk about Cowboys fan like super fans. You've been to a lot of games, a lot of away games. How many away games do you think that you've been to?
If I've been to 40 games, I've probably been to I want to say about like half and half.
Yeah. All right.
Possible more road, but I think more about I've probably been to Lambeau about 20 times now. And then
Yeah.
and then I think I've been to about 20 road games if I had to just throw a number out there.
Yeah, I've never been to a road game. People always tell me that, like, I've had people like invite me, like, "Hey, you should go to a Bear game." I'm like, dude, I talk too much trash. I'm probably gonna get beat down. I'm not going there. I mean, like the same as you. I don't. It's never personal. Like I'm not trashing
Yeah.
Bear fans. I'm not like saying, "Hey, this guy sucks and he's an idiot." And even Bears players, like even when Cutler, I would laugh when he threw interceptions, but I was never like Jay Cutler's a bum. This guy sucks. Like, I'm not going at Caleb Williams like that. That's not what I do. I don't go at players because they're just doing their jobs or whatever. But like I do have fun with it. I'll laugh when you
Yes,
suck. You
absolutely.
know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean? But I'm not like I'm not. I don't go over the top with like craziness. But so like going to different stadiums is there like a version of you at every stadium? Like you got you got your thing. You represent the Packers. You got the sombrero, the whole thing. Cowboys, I've seen they're like super fans. Does every team pretty much have like their version of someone who's dressed to the culture of that team or whatever, or what they're trying to do?
There's there there's maybe about half, I would say, throughout the league. Maybe I don't know. I think it really depends on the region. Like you're gonna see the Rams, you're gonna see um, the Cowboys and Cardinals for sure. You know what I mean?
Like the
I
Bears, they got the old Ditka uniforms. They kind of got that thing going on.
Yes, I have taken a picture with a guy with a bear sombrero. He had a poncho thing on. He came out of nowhere. It was funny. I was like filming something, scared the shit out of me. I thought we were gonna get in a fight. He ended up being a cool dude. He just started off like kind of rough, the Chicago guys. But and no, but we had a great time. But yes, there's quite a few. You probably not with the whole mariachi getup. It's the sombrero for sure, and it's usually something else with it, a jersey, a custom jersey, or
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah,
that's
I think that I think every fan base kind of has their thing. Yeah, I think most of the fan bases I feel like are pretty passionate. Like there's some who I question. You know what I mean? How passionate they are. Like the Jaguars. I'm not sure they
yeah.
got.
It's just
Because
it's
like
they've got a couple. I bet you most of them are probably, and I'm being honest because I met one like at the Inner Circle last year. Um, there's this one that I always see on TV, but he actually lives in London. He like literally looks like a jaguar. His like awesome painted face. I think I just posted a picture of him the other
oh, I
day.
think I've seen a picture of that guy.
His name's like Captain Duval. So I bumped into him, guy. But like when they play in London, because they play over there every single year,
Yeah.
they're always show this dude. His wife is
Yeah.
always real done up. This dude looks legit. And yeah, man, it's Carolina. I don't know if I've seen any. I mean, they always have an inner circle, so like, I just nothing memorable. Tampa
Yeah.
Bay's got some dope ass fans. Everybody knows Oakland's got those fans.
Oh, the
Detroit's got
Oakland's got, or like Las Vegas now.
Las
Those
Vegas.
Raider
Correct. I'm
fans,
sorry.
they don't mess around. Those Raider fans, they go all up like with the gear, and obviously, they're about the action too.
Yes, dude, they're legit. Detroit's got some legit fans. I love the Detroit dude. Every time we link up, they're all even when we're at the games. Like we're always looking for each other before we get to these road games, or they're coming into town. We're always calling each other just to see where we're going to be at tailgate, all that good stuff. The banter, it's always a good
Yeah,
time, man.
dude, I will say this about Lions fans because I talk a little bit of trash about Lion fans because Lion fans kind of irritate me a little bit at certain times. But I remember like going to Lambeau Field. I was at a Lions game. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. And I hooked up with these Lions fans tailgate. And we partied like before the game or whatever. And like they were the coolest people. And every Lion fan I ever ran across because like I'm from Wisconsin. They're from Michigan. It's not that much of a difference, you know. We're the
Nah,
same people. You know what I mean? We're the same people. Just root for different teams. But and I always liked Lion fans. But then they got crazy. They started winning, you know. And I always say this, and maybe you can like jump in on this too. Social media fans are different than real life fans.
yeah,
On social media, everyone's crazy, right? Like, even me, people would say, like, I go off the board and I kind of talk that trash. But like, if I see you in real life, I don't care if you're a Bears, Viking, Lions fan, like a Cowboys fan. If you're at Lambeau Field and we're hanging out, like, I'll buy you a beer. Like, I ain't trying to like talk trash to you. Like it. I hate your team, hate my team, but like it's not like I'm definitely not trying to fight you. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Hey,
First of all, I
you know,
realized in like seventh grade that is not a skill of mine.
you know what the crazy thing is? Like now that you bring it up, that it's wild to think that there are actual people that is their mission to go to this
Yeah.
game, get drunk, and beat the hell out of somebody because Why?
They,
I don't know, dude. But I've walked by people, like I already know what's gonna happen. Like I've seen it a million times. You know what I mean? I could be walking by and be like, yeah, this just like keep walking. You know what I mean? Like I gotta
yeah.
get out of here because these dudes are about to eat
I
each
don't
other
I don't
alive
get
for no
that.
reason, and I don't get it. But it's like I don't even know where it starts. There's no girls around really for them to be fighting over the girls. You know what I mean? It's like what happened? Did he cut in front of you in front of the urinal? Was he trying to come in through the exit of the urinal? Like what's the big deal?
So you've been to a lot of away stadiums. Like which one, which away stadium do you think is like the most? You better watch yourself going in there as an opposing fan because they're gonna get rowdy on you.
I used to say Dallas because I've been in these situations, but then again, they were back a couple years. Um, they were a little bit more delusional, and I'm being like honest. Like now, it's like they're a little bit more calm. Um, so I've been in those situations. I used to say Dallas because for my experience. Other than that, I don't know, dude. Buffalo was legit. All their fans were really freaking
Oh,
cool. We had
yeah.
a great time in Buffalo. I talk about it all the time. That's like, even
I
though their
love Buffalo
stadiums,
fans. I love Buffalo fans.
their
They do
fans
it
were
right.
cool. The stadium was dope. I wish it was like closer to downtown or closer to like easier to get to. But once you're there, it's dope. Um,
What about
I don't
Viking
know, man.
fans? What about Minnesota? You've been to a lot
Can
of.
I?
Have you
I've
been to
never been
Minnesota?
there. That's on my bucket list, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. Like that's I was gonna tell you this a while ago when we were talking about fans. Like that's the one team where I don't know anybody from there. Like I don't know. I may follow like a couple on social media, but I don't know a single super fan that I could be like, oh yeah, that's
that's
my
my
buddy.
guy.
Yeah, I have a lot of them. May probably like with like not all 32, probably like 28 maybe of the teams, but that's one of the teams where I just don't they have a squad. I'm sure they're just as cool, but I've
Yeah.
never engaged. Nobody's ever reached out to me and are like back and forth. And
I
maybe it's because I've never been to a like a home game or away game, Packers Vikings. Like I've never been, but I hear the stadium is amazing.
It is because that is quite the rivalry. Like obviously Packer Bears is more in my that's my thing,
I
but
hear you.
The Vikings are a big one too. And like I think it was like Steve, the owner Tate, you know him, everyone knows him.
Hmm.
Absolute legend. But he was telling me like kind of the Vikings kind of like I don't want to put words in his mouth because I don't remember the exact quote, but he was basically saying there's been times when like people took his cheese head and tried to toss it and like they were I've heard a lot of people say bad things about Minnesota and I hate the Vikings, so I'm all about sharing those stories. You know what I mean?
I hear you. No, I've just never had those experience. I've never been to those games, so I've never again like all the other games that I've been to. When I get to a tailgate, like instantly like start linking up with people, taking
Yeah, it's just
pictures, and then
fun. It
like
just
me and another super fan will gravitate to each other, and then that's where it kind of takes off, and then we'll see each other again at the next game, or we see each other at the draft, or and it just kind of the relationship takes off from there. And over the 10 years, man, it's fucking add them up. It's
yeah. It I think it's cool because there's a lot of Packer fans. Like if I go down to training camp or go to a game or tailgate, and like I see the same people year after year. They've always
yes.
been there, and it's probably the same way for other fans. I don't know a lot of opposing fans that come tailgate with Lamb because I don't travel or whatever too much. But it is cool like going down to like the tailgate or whether it's training camp or like the draft is coming up. We're gonna see the same people. Very cool people. It's cool to. There's some people who I only see at Lambeau Field. I've never talked to them in a DM, never talked to them on social media, never ever talked to them. But when I see them at Lambeau Field, and I know where their tent is at, you just walk up like, "What's up?" And it's just like, it's so cool. It's like something like within fans. It doesn't even have to be like the same team fan. It is for me because that's all I know. But like I think it's so cool that you just meet these people. You don't know nothing about their lives. They don't know nothing about your life, but you just know we both love this thing. Both have a good time. Drink
Yeah,
some
dude. Can you
beers
can you
together.
imagine within like the amount of like the 10 years, like the amount of pictures I've taken with people, like little
Yeah,
kids that are probably like let's just say this little kid was like 8 year old back in the day, 10 year old back in the day when I first went to Lambeau Field. I took a picture. Now the dude's like 20 years old. Now
yeah.
he's cracking beers open. You know what I mean? It's like,
It's
Damn.
awesome. And I'll say this: Big B. I don't know if you know who Big B is. He had cancer as a child. He went and met Aaron Rodgers. He actually like broke one of the news about Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers told him something and he repeated it on Twitter. He wasn't supposed to. But I remember him because he was a young child. He had cancer. Everyone was like rooting for him and doing all this stuff for him, and I was too. And I remember meeting him at Lambeau Field. But I was, it was at the end of the game. I was drinking all game. Yeah. And he was a kid. Now he's an adult. I know him now as an adult. But I remember meeting him and his mom. And I'm hammered. And I see him. And he's like, hey, how you doing? Matt Ramage. And I remember thinking like, oh, sober up quick. And I'm like, hello. How are you? I'm talking to his mom. And I'm like, hey, how you guys doing? And I'm trying to like be nice or whatever. But I remember like I talked to him many times after that. So when he got a little bit older, I asked him about that. I was like, dude, that day I met you at the game, I was like hammered. He's like, oh, we didn't even notice. I was like, oh, sweet, I killed it. You know what I mean? But he's obviously good now, and he's he's a podcaster. He does a lot of good stuff. So shout out to Big B over here. He just had a podcast.
Let's go.
He just did a podcast episode with my guy, the Green Bay guy. So everyone who's listening, check out the Green Bay guys podcast. He had Big B on that thing. I was on there too. But big shout out to them. But all right, so let's talk about this. All right, so you've been to a couple drafts. Do you need to grab an air beer?
I got one.
Oh, you got you. All right.
I got them lined up right here.
All right, you got them lined up. I got them lined up too. We both a couple professionals over here with some Marcos.
I used to have a podcast too, Matt.
Yeah, no, you still do, dude. First of all, let's talk about. No, I mean,
podcast. Well, I mean,
it's still out there.
Something in like 6 or 7.
Once it's on the internet, it's on there forever, baby. I will say this: you have the best podcast name, Cut the Cheese.
Oh, I love that one, dude.
Cut the Cheese with Senor CheeseHead. That's the best name of the podcast.
Is one of my favorite pastimes. You know that, like,
dude. And I work at a cheese factory, so I always thought about a podcast name, Cuttin' the Cheese, like cut, and then like a little apostrophe, and the N, the cheese, cut the cheese. Oh, and that's what I do at my job because I work at a cheese factory. And I cut the cheese, which is funny. But I never thought of it until after you had it, and I was like, man, that's such a good name for a podcast. But I think it's the best name.
That, well, I think you were doing podcasts for a while. You took a break, and then I like started doing one because I talked to like a couple players me and my wife were like kind of sharing our own stories.
Yeah.
And then I talked to a couple players that jumped on. Dude, we were having a lot of fun with that. I can't even remember why. Dude, we even did one live in like Indianapolis. We were so hammered. It was like me, Drew Cave, Dave from SoCal, P-Dog. Man, I can't even tell you. Ray the Tire God.
Yeah.
We were Smash City, dude. It was like that was actually like a COVID game. We went to 2 COVID games. You know that?
How? Because
the Houston Texans, that was one of the very few stadiums where they.
Well, yeah, because they had a few. Yeah, they had a few. They sprinkled them in.
Dude, there was 15,000 fans in a full NFL stadium. So like we were sitting with the row of 4. It was me, my wife, Ray, his wife, and then there would be like 8 spaces over, 8 spaces in front of you, 8 spaces behind you, before the next person. So like if you went to the restroom, dude, like nobody was in the restroom. Nobody was at the beer line. Nobody was at the food line. It was like VIP everything. It was crazy, dude.
How did you get tickets back then? Because like, how did they choose?
Yeah. It was only certain games or certain stadiums that were doing it, and so we knew the Packers were coming to Texas. We kept our eyes on it, and we were waiting because at that time everything was shut down, and so then they started opening up a little bit more and more, and that was right around I think November. Because I know Indianapolis was November, and we made it there too, and that was we turned that into a SoCal party.
Dude, SoCal, a lot of the parties.
Dude, SoCal can party, dude. The cool thing is they travel, they go everywhere, and if it's in California or Green Bay, it's SoCal.
Dude,
they're everywhere.
Yeah, dude, they know how to party. I've been to a lot of Liberty tailgates. Those California folk, and not just California, but like you're from Texas, like the outsiders, they know how to party. They know how to get it done.
Liberty. That's one of the new major attractions for SoCal. And then now Dave from SoCal, the president, he's got a spot in the parking lot. So he's tailgating in lot 10, I believe. I can't remember, but that anybody from SoCal, there's your two big spots right there.
Yeah, fan of the
Anytime
year,
game day.
Packer fan of the year, right there.
Packer fan of the year, man. That
Yeah,
dude just
shout out
came
to
back from
Dave.
the he just came back from the Super Bowl. He just came back from seeing his favorite team in Tokyo, the LA Dodgers.
Yeah,
This dude's living the dream.
yeah, he's living the good life. All right, so like talking about the draft, we both rocking our draft shirts.
Yes, sir.
You've been to a couple drafts. Like, how were those drafts like? And then we'll talk about what you think that this Packers draft is going to be like. Just like the amount of people, right? Because like I was showing people were showing me pictures of like a lot of haters or whatever, people who don't like the Packers. They were showing me pictures of Detroit, and they were like, Packers, Green Bay can't handle this amount of people. I'm not sure it's going to be the same amount of people. Like what I have no idea like what it's going to be. I've been down at Lambeau Field looking at like where the stage is. I made a couple of videos on Instagram about
I did,
like,
dude. I'm glad you're doing that because you know what? I haven't seen too much, and I'm like, I'm getting super excited. I've just been busy with work, dude. But I want to start doing a couple more to get people. We need people over there. I'm coming all the way from Texas, dude. Like we're ready to party. I love what you were doing over there, even if it's just farting around with broken concrete and moving radiants. Like people need to know, like they are going out of the way to make all this stuff happen for everybody for free. People don't understand that this is a free event, and this is why you saw so many thousands of people in Detroit, dude, because nobody has to pay for a seat and nobody has to pick a seat. It is a free event. The entire parking lot. All you got to do is register an app or register on an app. You get it. You scan when you get there. Bro, you're in. You're in like Flynn with everybody. Like, go pick your seat. Everywhere but the inner circle is your seat. And so being in Green Bay, I can't see how the entire community doesn't come out, how all of Michigan doesn't come out, how all of Illinois doesn't come out. Like, you have to think about it like this, dude. The Super Bowl, the draft is the Super Bowl for everybody. It's everybody's Super Bowl. All 32 teams, we're all getting something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're all winning that weekend.
This Saturday, I'm going to be going down to Lambeau Field after work, getting some more content, because Saturday, I think it might be even Friday, like 28th, 29th, is when they're going to start shutting streets down and starting to like maybe build a stage. I don't know when that's all going to happen, but I have a source, Marcos. All right, I have a source. Not really. I ran into a guy at Lambeau Field. I don't want to say who it was because I don't know if he's supposed to tell me this information, but Oneida Street is going to be flat. They're filling in Oneida Street. Right, they're gonna fill it in, so there'll be no steps. Cause like the curb from the going to the street, right? The curb and here. They're gonna fill that in with whatever. I have no idea. But they're gonna try to make it flat so that stage is gonna be at the edge of Oneida Street, from what I understand. I don't think it's gonna be in the street. I think it's gonna be at the edge of the parking lot where I was. And I doubt that I could. I doubt I can get to that same spot come Saturday. I think it's all gonna be kind of closed off. They're gonna be trying to, first of all, like security. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. Like, they're going to try to make it safe, especially Green Bay. I'm assuming they're going to have, like, outsiders coming in for security, making sure that everything is good. But I cannot wait. I'm going to document as much as I can leading up to the draft, like what's going on when the stage is being built. I might lose my job, missing work, because I want to see all this. I want to see it be built. I'm so ecstatic about Green Bay getting this, and I know for a lot of Green Bay residents, I see it like on local Facebook pages, like groups and stuff that I see. A lot of people who don't love the Packers as much as we do, they're like, it's gonna mess up traffic. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
traffic's screwed.
This is what they worked for, man. They're trying to bring in the amount of people in. They're trying to bring in revenue to your area.
It's going to be so good for Green Bay and Wisconsin in general.
There's going to be so many people probably coming to this that will never ever go to a Super Bowl because let's like be real. They're unaffordable for a lot of people.
Well, yeah, I'm not ever going to Super Bowl.
You're never going to be able to sit there. Like even just getting anywhere near a Super Bowl is unaffordable. So like this is a free event. I'm telling you, dude, this is a free event. You got the app. You're in. Pick your seat. There's so many things to do there. Once you're in there, all the amount of just different things that you can do in there. There's all kinds of, you name it, you can do it. It's going to be a great event, man.
So, what drafts have you been to so far?
Physically, the first one we got invited to was the round two of the in Las Vegas.
So you were like in
So
like the
inner
inside,
circle.
like yeah. So you were in there. So what was that like? Even like leading up to like how many people like what? How crazy was it?
Well, it's really dope. First of all, we were in Las Vegas. You got to remember
Oh
that.
yeah,
We
yeah.
were
Las Vegas is all
we
right.
had gotten there 2 days before that. We got there just in case somebody didn't show up for round one, so we were ready to roll. But we found out kind of early that all the seats were filled. No big deal. So we were secure for round two, right? Um, Round two was amazing, dude. You got like 24 fans from our team, I believe, times 32. We're all up front. Um, there's a lot of things going on. You got the draft. You have an Ice Cube concert going on afterwards,
All right.
right there like, on the same stage. You know what I mean? There's so much action going on. I think we had like Chris Angel was performing Magic on stage, getting out of some vest while dangling in the air. I have the video, dude. So dope. But like the entertainment for these spectacles are just great, dude. Especially in Vegas. That was
Yeah.
Vegas was amazing. The
I never
following
been to
year,
Vegas.
yeah, Vegas is it's an adult playground. It really
It
is.
is.
Then the following year, so that was what 22, 23. We got invited to Kansas City. So Kansas City was dope. We did the whole inner circle experience. Um, Again, great entertainment, really cool stuff. And then last year was Detroit. So
So seeing like all the people, like in Detroit last year, like they were outside. I think I'm not. I assume Las Vegas kind of was too. Um, how like all the people? Do you think like how do you think it's gonna go in Green Bay if all those same people show up? Obviously, be different people, but the numbers. How do you think that works in Green Bay? Because you kind of know like where the stage is gonna be set. I assume people are gonna be, dude. Lambeau Field area is gonna be crazy. I feel like
yeah,
Titletown's gonna be crazy. Even people who can't see the stage from where they are. How do you think that's gonna play out and like work out for the Packers or for Green Bay?
I think it's going to be amazing. We all know where the stage is going to be at. It's going to be right up, butted up to the Expo Center. So the back of the
Yeah,
stage will be hitting that, facing Lambeau Field. Um, Everything's going to be jam packed in there. But I think the actual grounds, that's the cool thing, is you can be anywhere on the grounds. There should be. I can't say you're going to see a TV from everywhere, but there's going to be TVs everywhere.
yeah,
Everything is going to be loud. Um, I've only been outside of the inner circle for like round one in Vegas to like tell you that experience. Everything had screens there. Um, so everybody was kind of doing their thing over there. Detroit was crazy, dude. Like that was a lot of people because we went through the crowd.
yeah,
Like during the day when we were not during the draft, because it opens up at like 10 a.m. and the draft doesn't start till what 7 p.m. So that thing's
yeah.
going
So
on all
everyone's
day.
liquor. Everyone's.
Well, even before we get dressed up as Senor Cheesehead, we're just going out, kind of doing our thing. But we wanted to go do the draft experience, dude. It's just a see. It doesn't matter where. It's just like thousands. It's like a football game of people walking around at halftime, basically, the
Yeah,
nonstop, like that thick of
yeah,
nothing but Lions fans over there, nothing but Chiefs fans over here. In Vegas, it was a mix because they didn't really have a team at that time. They were still
yeah.
building the stadium.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be crazy. I'll probably spend most of my time like on the outside. I don't like being like even like going to a Packer game. Like I try to like I usually stand and go way up top. like in groups. Like the older I get, I don't like being like crowded. I know I'm gonna be crowded either way, so I'm not like I can't be in crowds. But like I would rather not like for like long periods of time or whatever. So I don't know if I'll watch like the draft like from the stands or wherever you can sit, or if I'll be on the outside watching on TV. But I will definitely be there. I'm gonna be there all week.
Dude, did you
Like
ever watch the draft? It was the first draft after COVID. I think it was 2021. I think it was in Tennessee. Did you ever see that one? Where the
yeah,
people were in the
that was the one where
streets, dude,
Pat
for like,
McAfee was like trolling the Titans fans, wasn't he?
dude, that place was absolutely insane. We visited Tennessee this year for a road game that was in when Malik played.
Yeah.
Dude, that
Oh
was
yeah.
it was a great weekend. But like having so much fun there, and like, dude, I can't imagine what the draft looked like on that main drag, dude. Because or
Dude.
Broadway Street, that place is lit, dude. I mean, it is one of the most electric walking bar districts in the United States. And
Tennessee?
dude, you should have. Oh my God, the Packer fans lit that place up, dude. That
That's
was an
awesome.
absolute epic weekend. You should have been there. Crazy, dude. Crazy. Great
I
win. Just great vibes. The city was like, that's a really nice city. The stadium is, it butts up to downtown. You know what I mean? So like
yeah,
the
they have
bars
that.
are the bars are right here. The stadium's right here.
Yeah, they have like a big country music kind of like thing going over there.
Scene,
Like
yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love it.
yeah. I've heard a lot of good things about Tennessee. Actually, I watched a documentary about them. They think they have like a big crime thing going over there, but it's a great place.
That sounds great.
I don't mean to throw shade on it. You just said all this good stuff. I did just watch a documentary, but yeah, that's where Jelly Roll's from. I think he talks about Tennessee a lot. Anyways,
Yep.
but yeah, so what do you expect from the draft in Green Bay? Like, you're going to be in there, right? You're registered. You're going to be in the seats. You're going to be down there. You're going to be getting after it, representing the Packers. Like, what are your expectations for this?
My expectations for this draft,
Get
man,
hammered and have a good time, or what are we doing?
have a good time, dude. Represent, show all these other fans that are coming in from all over the United States that have never been here, what it's all about. You know what I mean? We probably don't have to do too much of that. We don't have to like
Yeah,
escort
they kind of
anybody, but
know.
like
They know what's up.
it's honestly, it's just like putting the best product out there, dude. Being the best fans and just like being respectful. Just I'm just looking to really have a good time, see my friends that I haven't seen in a while. I
Yeah.
will tell you that I haven't been to Green Bay since like December 23. I forgot what game it was, but I missed all of 2020. I didn't go to a home game last year, dude. So
Yeah.
I miss my friends. I got a lot of friends over
You
there
didn't go
like
to any
you.
home
So
games last year?
no, dude. Last year was an off year. The schedule just didn't fall our way. We had front row tickets to the home opener,
Yeah.
which we usually get those. We usually get invited by this family of ticket holders, season ticket holders. Sorry, and
Yeah.
we had the tickets and all. I had to send them back because of work. I was back on this project in a couple of weeks. It was a big old deal, and I didn't want the people that I was working with seeing me front row at this game because it was like backed up pretty bad. It wasn't my fault, but at the same time, I didn't want to add to the situation.
Yeah, you got
Being a
work to
bit being
do.
a business owner, yeah, I got to kind of
Yeah.
like made that first, and it was like I want to say that was like the first business decision in the 10 seasons that I've been going to games where I actually didn't go.
Yeah, you got
All the other
you got
times I was like, "What? Sorry, guys."
Sometimes you got to handle that business first.
No, I had to do this. This one was dragging out for a while. It was a big project, so I sent the ticket back, and I ended up taking my son and my wife to Tennessee. We went to that game, and then for my birthday, we went to Seattle,
Yeah,
and that was another big game.
yeah. I didn't go to a bunch of games last year there because I think I went to two. I went to the Colts game early on, and I went to the Tennessee game, and I did a lot of live streams. I do the game streams where I do the play by play, and I just goof around during the game. That was actually a lot more fun because that was my focus last year. Where I was like, I want to stay home, hang out in my basement, drink beer, talk to the fans on the internet, and pee when I want to. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. It's just right there.
That's the thing when you're my age.
The only,
like, dude, I gotta pee, bro, and I can't, dude. I can't imagine being in a line with like 86 people in front of me when I gotta pee real bad because my bladder don't work like that no more. Like
no, mine doesn't either.
when I sit up top and I find this little platform that a lot of people are in, but the bathroom lines up there not long. They're a little bit, but they're few minutes, like you don't miss a bunch, and you just don't sit in your seat. I just buy a cheap seat way up top, and then I hang out up here. I love it. I think that's for me. I mean, front row is fun. I've been in front row. I've never been in front row like your front row, like in the end zone, like doing all that thing. I've been in like front row. I think I was in row 2. You were there. I think that game, the Niners game, the playoffs, and
Yes.
I was in second row, but on the aisle and like right on the corner of the end zone. Like I watched that block punt that didn't benefit the Packers at all.
Yes.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
That was brutal. But that was such a fun game for me. The people in that group, because that's kind of like for me like what it's about going to a Packer game. Win and loss is obviously a big, especially in the playoffs. But like that day was so fun. Like, I remember because my wife went to that game, but she went to the game with her friends. So I was with my people and she was with her people, right? We weren't together. And I remember hanging out like before the game, we were hanging out, whatever. Me and her both had like a beer, like in a plastic beer cup, and they both froze. But I was like, during the game, beer didn't freeze. And I was like, well, that's probably because we were either hammered at that point, we were drinking really fast, or maybe the inner, the bowl warmed up with all the people. But that was such a cold game. But I was never cold at all except for before the game. Once the game started, I was in a bowl. I don't think I've ever had more fun. And then I actually saved a Niners fan. A Niners fan almost got jumped after the game. He was celebrating, and his own person that was with him was like, "Screw him, kill him, like jump him." And then she was like trying to get him beat up, and I was like, "Yo,
Damn.
leave him alone." I was like, "Let him enjoy his time." His team won. They get to celebrate. But so I actually had him on a podcast after, and I was like, "That lady tried to get you killed." He was like, "I was actually with her." I was like, "Really?" I was like, that was like, he's like, "Yeah, she was my friend." I was like, "Well, she almost got you. She was trying to start a riot, and the whole riot purpose was to kill you." So I don't know. You might want to evaluate your friendship. But that was such a fun game. That was it sucks how it ended.
The only game I regret not going to because it was on the schedule. It was in our heart, dude. Was Showtime's return to Lambeau Field. We planned on getting out there. We were in talks with his mom. We were talking to him. That was another one where the schedule was so brutal when it came to work this year. It was always something. Yeah. And this was the first year, man, that I've made so many. Like, dude, the year before we went to 6 games. The year before that, 5 games. You know what I mean? So I'm so used to that having to like miss out on all these really cool moments. That was one of them, dude, that like really hurt last year. All the other ones were like, it's all right. But I wish I could be at all of them, dude. But living in Texas, it's like so far.
Yeah, it's tough. But especially you got a business, you got work, you got stuff to do. So let's talk about Mr. Aaron Jones. I love Mr. Aaron Jones.
Let's do it. Let's talk.
First of all,
let's talk about him.
I will tell you this. This is like one of my favorite moments as being a Packer fan is what Preston Smith invited me to be in like the family area of training camp, so I could watch training camp like from where the wives and like other family members were, mostly wives, and
you took a picture.
Yeah. So like after practice, Preston comes over and he's introducing me to his baby, and we're talking to his wife, and like it's like all happy times, and I see Aaron Jones, and obviously I'm a big Aaron Jones fan, I still am. And I was like, man, that's Aaron Jones right there. And he's still got the whole uniform on, after practice. But he's taking pictures with like a bunch of people, and I was like, I was like, dude, I really want to meet. I would love to meet Aaron Jones because I've never met him. And then he's taking pictures. He's doing all the stuff. He's with his family. He's holding babies. He's like going through all this stuff. And I was like, man, the whole time kind of like side eyeing him. I'm like, oh man, that's Aaron Jones over there. But we're doing our thing. And then Aaron Jones sees me. And then he points at me, and he walks right up to me, and he's like, "Bro, I love your IG." And I was like, "Oh, my goodness." And I was like, because I'm over here like, that's what I love about Aaron Jones is like he doesn't care, like he's just a regular dude, right? He's like he doesn't act,
Yeah, he
yeah, he's
really,
not all
really is.
Hollywood. We
It's
took a
crazy.
picture. It was cool. Like he was talking to Preston, like he said was I have to edit that part out. Almost died. But yeah, he's hanging out with the baby, like he's doing all this stuff. Because that's the thing people don't understand is like the players are just like your coworkers, right? They're like interested in your family and all that stuff. So like they're all like really close.
Yep.
But how did that come? Where you and Aaron Jones kind of linked up, and you got the whole you gifted him a sombrero, I believe, and that kind of all went on from there. But like, let everyone know how did that happen with you and Aaron Jones?
Well, he wore that black and silver sombrero to the Dallas game. That was before COVID, 2019 probably, and he had a breakout game. Um, People were texting him or like in his comments on that one picture that he posted, and they're like kept tagging me, kept tagging me, kept tagging me, and I was in Austin at a music festival with my wife. We were watching the game. They had a beer garden there. I still got the picture, man. He was tearing it up. He had like 4 touchdowns. I had my jersey on, or 3 touchdowns, whatever it was. Um, had my sombrero on, and I was posting my own stuff, but I wasn't like tagging him or anything. Other people were tagging me in his comments, and so like on our way home the next day, it's about a 3-hour drive from Austin to here. We're all hungover. My wife's asleep, but I was driving back. It's probably like midday, and my Instagram went off, and it was like, "Hey, dude, I need a sombrero like that." And I was like, I looked at it a couple times, and I was like, clicked on it, and I saw the blue check, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And we were just talking about that, like at breakfast. I was like, "Man, I was still hype over the game. They just beat the shit out of the Cowboys. We're at a Texas music festival in Austin, Texas. How many fucking Green Bay Packer or sorry, Green Bay uh, Dallas Cowboy fans do you think are over there? You know what I mean? At this beer garden, I'm all dressed up doing my thing, green and gold. So like we're just talking about all the hype on it, right? And I was like, dude, he had such a badass talking about the sombrero, and I was like, dude, that'd be so cool if we could just get him like a sombrero like mine instead of that cheap one he was wearing.
Yeah.
And then like literally about an hour later, he messaged me and thought about it for a little bit, and then I ended up messaging him back, and I was like, "Dude, I got you." Like I still got that screenshot. I was like, "I got you. Don't worry about it." And so I ended up getting one just like mine, boxed it up, shipped it, sent it off, and dude, we've been tight ever since. Like as soon as I got to, I think the first time I met him that year when I gave it to him, we were going to LA already, like in 2 or 3 weeks. And so he was like, "All right, when you get to LA, like, here's my number, call me."
That's awesome.
And so yeah, we did. He called us after the game. Um, I don't even think he had my number. I don't even think I even had to even call him. The how I ended up meeting him without even doing that was the same thing. Like he knew we were going to be there. We were with Ray the Tire God. Ray the Tire God knows Kenny Clark from
Yeah.
California. So talks to Kenny, like he did all his tire work, did all the custom work on his car, and Kenny got Ray in. So Ray ended up getting me and my wife in, and my son. All three of us were down there at the meet and greet after the game, and we bumped into Aaron Jones' mom, and she was like, "Hey, we were looking for you." Like they didn't even have to come and get me. I was already down there. It was so crazy. It was like a dream. You know what I mean? Because like you see these people on IG, and you're like, dude, like Blake Martinez was standing right next to me. It was like all these
Yeah.
like random people, dude. You know what I mean? And then she came up. We talked to her for a little bit. Talked to his dad. Talked to some other people from El Paso, like the mom's best friend. Um, and of course, they're doing their interviews, doing all their stuff, and then he comes out and he's like, "Hey, man, like I didn't even hear from you, and you're already here."
That's awesome.
So it just worked out great. Yeah, and then like a couple weeks later, we were in San Francisco. Same thing. They invited us back, and it's just been going on since then. We've been to his house in Green Bay.
It's awesome.
Mama's great. Yeah, they're just a great family. Uh, you couldn't get, um, I don't know, man. I you you could only pray that every player could could start to model off of that, dude. He is just an amazing
I
human.
I've always said this. I'm like not just players, but Aaron Jones. If every human was like Aaron Jones, the world would be a better place. It,
It
yeah,
really
Aaron
would.
Jones is just such a good human. Like I don't know him like you know him. I've met him, but like he's just such a good dude. Every story I've ever
Yeah,
heard.
and he's just a normal dude. He still has, like when he's chilling, he ain't talking
Oh yeah,
football. He's not. He's a normal dude like me and you. He's probably like me and you are gonna talk Packer stuff. That's
yeah,
our
yeah.
shit. Like to him, he's gonna be
They
talking.
have their own
He could care less.
like I remember like Preston Smith I remember walking. I was at a game one time, and this like early on, like Preston followed me and I talked to him a little bit because he knew Ha Ha Clinton Dix. He went to Washington, and
Yes.
Preston was in Washington, so that's kind of how Preston like knew who I was because I think Ha Ha mentioned him to me or whatever, or mentioned me to him, and then but I remember going to a game like Preston's first year, and I was hammered. We're walking through like the concessions area after the game, and someone's like, "Hey, Matt, whatever," and then it was Preston's I think two brothers and his mom, and then I talked to his and his brothers are huge, right? They're massive humans like he is, and
They are. I've got
yeah,
pictures of them too.
so
Yeah.
they're like, "Hey, love what you
Big
do," and then
dudes.
his mom actually said to me, she's like, "Hey, thank you so much for supporting my son," and I thought like, your son's a legend. Like, you don't have to thank me. Like, everyone loves him. You know what I mean? And Preston, like, the same thing with Aaron Jones with you is like Preston has always been so cool to me. Like, he's always been so nice. He did my podcast. He's never done a podcast from a fan at anywhere. He doesn't like him. Like, he did a podcast to be nice to me. I think he was on Pat McAfee's show. I think he might have done some other like big time podcasts, but he's never done like a Packer fan podcast other than mine. And that was just because he was trying to be nice. It's like, hey, this guy's doing his thing or whatever. Like he doesn't like it. He doesn't need it. You know what I mean? That was a favor. Preston, his whole family, they're so nice. Aaron Jones. I feel like all the Packer players that I've got to talk to a lot of them. So have you. Um, they're just normal people. They're just good people. They're just
They really are, dude. And when their family sees you in action, showing so much love for their
yeah,
family member, their kid, their brother, their sister, and it's genuine, dude. You can't buy that. You know what I mean? So like when they tell you thank you, that's why they're telling you is because they're just uh, they're just working,
yeah.
they're
They're
doing
doing
their
their
thing, and
job.
you got to think about it like people like Preston. Yeah, he's like a big time dude. He's been doing it for a long time. He's been very successful, but he's never been like the face of a friend.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's a little different when you got like these kind of dudes that are up here banners and uh, but they're just normal dudes putting in work. They're just
yeah.
another part of the 53. I know everybody is, but there's always those 3 or 4 or 5 that they're going to sell 1 million jerseys a year. They're going to be on the side of the stadium. His life was never really like that in his career. And so for their family to see that, dude, it's just like, that's dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's my little brother. That's my
That's the
son.
thing.
And that's why I feel like with Preston Smith, because I knew who they were when I saw them in Chicago this one time. And of course they had 9-1, like their own, they were like custom t-shirts. They weren't jerseys, but they had their stuff and bumped into them. They saw my my custom outfits and we took pictures and stuff. But same thing. I was like, man, I'm so glad that your son's like a part of this team now. That they love that stuff. That for you to know who they are and to like engage.
Yeah, yeah. That whole family. Preston Smith is awesome. I don't know what's going to happen with him this year. I know that I think he's free agent right now, but I absolutely root. That thing like with me, probably for you, like with Aaron Jones and other players, like haha Clinton Dix. Like I got the jersey right here. Like those type of guys, like Preston, haha, like the guys that I met, Tom Crabtree. Like I root for them forever. Like not just like in football.
For
Like I hope
sure.
they do well in life. Like obviously Tom Crabtree is a good friend of mine. I haven't talked to him in a while, but he's someone who I always root for. Hopefully, he's doing well right now, which I assume he is. But like if I root for you on the field, I root for you forever. You know what I mean? Unless you go,
Bro, show
unless you
show
kill
show
somebody or something.
I hear you. Showtime was going to get a purple sombrero for me. We had already talked about it. The organization somehow found one before I could get mine to him, so I just kind of let it ride. I
Yeah.
never like sent it off, never did anything. Um, but like, dude, I'll for anything for that dude.
You
You know
guys
what I
still
mean?
talk?
All he has to do, we do. Like we message. I don't have to like
Oh yeah.
message him
Yeah.
anymore for anything really, and I never really did. If I even and I don't even really bother him. I know the dude's always busy, even like just enjoying the off season. If I did have to say something, like we would just message his mom
Yeah.
because it'll probably the message will probably get to him faster
Yeah.
anyways.
Well, it kind of saying it with me, like, if you know players, like, you don't talk to them, just talk to them. Like, if you got something to say, like, you're not just trying to, harass them or whatever. Like, you.
No, man, and you got to be genuine about just everything in general.
Yeah.
It is kind of hard at first. Again, 10 years, you know what I mean? But it gets easier, I guess, talking to people. Like, I don't feel nervous talking to Donald Driver when I see him. I feel like I'm just talking to like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
up, kind of a thing. But back in the day, like I used to shit my
Oh,
pants
yeah.
like
Yeah.
everybody else.
That,
And now it's like, and I think that's where they may feel a little bit more comfortable with people like us, where it's just like, bro,
yeah.
we're not that dude. We're not trying. I can tell you right now, out of all the Packer players I know, I probably have one signature, dude, from Aaron Jones, and I didn't even
Yeah.
ask for
And
it.
that doesn't say, like,
I've never asked him for a signature, like, but I got one.
yeah, like, the
It's
only
so weird.
autograph I've had from a Packers who I've met is Clint Dix. Like, you can't really see it right here. Move the camera, but, like,
Oh yeah, like sign the
yeah.
jersey kind of
But
thing.
that was
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he was at my
I have a
house.
Showtime jersey.
He was at my house, like,
I need him to sign my jersey. I got to think about. I got a custom jersey that says Showtime on the nameplate.
yeah. I got to get
Like,
that Preston autograph yet, too, because, like, I went bowling with him. I was hanging out with him, but, like, I never asked for an autograph because, like, and I'm not a big autograph guy. Like, I'm more of, like, kind of
me neither.
remembering this stuff. Like, that was cool. Like, was at my house, and, he signed. He was like, "I'll sign anything you want." I remember I had him sign a "Bear Still Sucks" sticker, right? A,
You're all sign
I
my
was like,
head. You should tell him to sign your life.
dude, this autograph right here, he's got. He said to Matt, and he drew the googly eyes. I can't really show it right now on here, but like that was funny because he's like, I'll sign anything. I was like, after the podcast, so I had a Bear Still Sucks stickers that I was making. I was like, hey, will you sign one of these? Because a friend of mine, who his wife I know really good, I work with her, so she's also a friend. She loved haha, and I was like, I got to get her something. Sign this Bear Still Sucks sticker, and he's like, yeah, for sure, I got you. He signed it. Like a couple months later, he signed with the Bears, so I gave her the sticker, and then he sat. Then he signed with the Bears, and I was like, hey, don't post a picture of that anywhere. Don't post it. Don't share it with people because I don't want to cause any. I don't want to be a meme for a problem, for a question he has to answer or whatever. And she's like, oh, I won't. And then she saved it, and she probably still has it. I'm sure she does. But I told her, I was like, don't put it
That's
out there
funny,
because, like,
man.
can you imagine? Like, I was like, oh man, if I would have posted that, like, Bears still suck, haha, Clinton Dix, I could have roasted Bear fans forever, but I wouldn't do that to him like that. But yeah, it's cool because like even my guy Ben, the Green Bay guy, he's big friends with Desmond Bishop. You remember him? He was big
Yes.
time, and yeah,
55.
and I feel like
Yeah.
when you know them, and yeah, it's a little bit different. It's not like I don't know. It's cool. It's cool that I don't. I'm not sure that every team has that where like they can trust the fan base.
Yeah, and I think it's probably easier too. Like once you get like that first player
Yeah.
that like that you can vibe with, they kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
then
he's cool
you
because he's
fuck with
not
him, I'll
gonna.
fuck with
Because like, especially
him.
like for me, like asking players to come on a podcast, I always felt weird because like a lot of podcasts are trying to get that clip of asking a dumb question, trying to get a weird response or whatever.
Yeah.
That's why I would always DM them like, hey, I had a haha on my podcast, I had this guy on my podcast. I would name drop. That's all right, and I would be like, I'm not the media. I'm not trying to do you wrong. I'm a fan, player friendly, because I'm not trying to like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be an analyst. I'm not trying to be, I'm just a Packer fan who has a podcast. It's
Yeah,
cool to
yeah,
talk
yeah.
to players. Cool to talk to you. Cool to talk to cool people. I'm gonna wrap this thing up because it's been over an hour, and I want you to get back to your
Oh,
life. You
damn.
got a family over there, but you're gonna be at the draft. When are you coming? When you showing up to Green Bay?
We'll be there Tuesday night, I believe, if not Wednesday morning. So we'll be ready to rock. We're gonna check out, the grounds, everything, man, up front, all that good stuff. So
Yeah, we got to
we're
hook
gonna
up.
enjoy it. We're not staying far from there, so we're gonna be in the thick of the action. We're ready to roll. Like, this is the only thing I'm coming for. Normally, when we're in the bigger cities, it's like, hey, we're at the draft, but it's a big city too, so let's go see a couple things. No, like, this is it.
But I do want to give a shout out to your wife too, Mrs. Hat Lady.
Hat
I
lady,
lo-
yeah.
I love her Instagram. Seems like a very I obviously met her a couple times, but very classy lady, and she does a lot of the video work, a lot of the picture taking, and she deserves her props as well.
She does, yeah. Without
You
her,
know what
like,
I mean?
you wouldn't see half of my Instagram without her, man.
Oh yeah, because you're enjoying the moment, and then she gets the. I mean, she's enjoying the moment as well, but she's
And then I probably wouldn't have gone to like the other 35 games either without her.
yeah. Give her props. You know what I mean? Big shout out to her, and I
Yeah,
think
man,
that's with everyone. I wouldn't be able to do what I do without my wife as well.
for sure.
She handles the stuff and lets me get hammered in my basement and talk football with people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but dude, the draft's gonna be amazing. I hope everybody comes out. You gotta remember, it's free. All you gotta do is register, show up, pick your seat. There's no chairs, but pick your seat and party all day. Like, just enjoy it. This could possibly be the only draft that's ever in Green Bay. You never
Yeah,
know. There's
dude. And
32
I've
other
actually
teams
talked
in
to
your lifetime, at least.
yeah.
It's gonna move
I've
around.
I've talked to a lot of people in the know, and they said this might be the last time the draft's in Green Bay for like 30 years.
You never know, dude. They worked so hard on this. You know how many times they got rejected before Green Bay actually got
Yeah,
this
Mark
information to do it?
Murphy, bro.
Mark
Shout out to Mark
Murphy,
Murphy. You met Mark Murphy, right?
Gabrielle Dow, don't forget
Yeah,
her. She's like the
yeah,
vice president of fan engagement. She's right up there with him, helping out. She's one of the faces of this entire operation
yeah.
that goes out and has, dude, put in so much time, effort, and they finally got it for you, for me, for everybody
Yeah,
to
for
see.
everybody, baby.
To put
The,
Green Bay on display, to show everybody why 10 years ago I never stopped coming back.
absolutely. Green
10 years
Bay,
ago, dude.
the draft is in Green Bay. Mark Murphy, a lot of great people made this happen, and it's going to be absolutely epic. Look at that NFL Draft 2025, Green Bay. You can get the shirt at the Pro Shop, and I got my own version at thematramage.com. Check out my merch shop. Senor CheeseHead. Hey, you have your own merch, right? Rocking over there.
I do. I don't know. This right here, this is Packers Everywhere, baby. Let me tell
Yeah,
you
yeah.
right
Packers
now.
everywhere. Represent.
Packers.com is for the Packers. Packers Everywhere is for the fans. And I want y'all to understand that everything that they do is freaking free for you guys. They're constantly giving out tickets, they're constantly giving out merch like this. They are putting on every single Packer pep rally. When you're on the road, this is the team that puts it together. And if you don't know, now you know. Packers Everywhere is all about Green Bay Packer fans and everything that you need to know. You want to find a bar in your city to go hang out with other Packer fans and watch a game? Go to packerseverywhere.com. You want to go to an official Packer pep rally? Packerseverywhere.com. You got to go check in. You got to link in. These guys are giving away. Dude, these dudes have giveaways literally daily.
Yeah.
Hats, shirts, flags, tickets, opportunities to be in an inner circle. Like, you name it. Name it. Packers Everywhere.
Packers everywhere.com. Yeah, they do great stuff. Big shout to Senor CheeseHead. Thank you for dropping in. I hope to see you at the draft. I'm sure I will.
Yes, sir.
We will link up. Maybe I'll do a little interview with you. I'm going to do a lot of interviews with a lot of people during the draft. Just hang out. I'll probably be hammered most of the time. Cause my son's going to let me stay at his house. I live a little bit, like 30 miles north of Green Bay. So
this is why they're bringing the draft to Green Bay, is because Green Bay knows how to party. The NFL doesn't just show up. Are they going to Dallas? No. They're going to Green Bay because Green Bay knows how to party.
Yeah, we get after it. All right, here we go. Senor CheeseHead. Check him out on Instagram. He's on all the social media places. Check him out. Senor CheeseHead. Go Pack Go. We're out of here. All righty.